Hello, welcome back to Kim Reads. We're going to start Molly Saves the Day. Chapter 1, Can't Go On Again. Molly McIntyre loved Can't Go On Again from the very first day she was there. Molly and her friends and Susan had never gone to summer camp before. They were a little nervous about the big old bus that brought them home, stopped inside the camp's gate. But as soon as they stepped off the bus with all the other campers, they were met by cheering Can't Go On Again counselors. The counselors sang to them, Welcome to Can't Go On Again. We're mighty glad you're here. Hooray, hurrah, for Go On Again. Hail, hail, let's give a cheer. Gosh, said Susan, this is neat. Molly just grinned happily. A roly-poly woman came toward them. She was beaming. Hello, girls, she said. My name is Miss Butternut. I'm the camp director. Welcome to Camp Go On Again. The counselors and I are happy you're here. Hooray, cheered the counselors. Miss Butternut laughed. You see, she said to the campers, we're going to have a wonderful time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll show you to your tents. The campers gathered around their suitcases and duffel bags and followed Miss Butternut up the shady path. There were big brown tents on the one side of the path. On the other side, Molly saw wide green fields edged with dark green pine trees. The open fields down to a silver blue lake with an island in the middle. It's beautiful, Molly said. Yes, said Linda, there's so much sky. Miss Butternut led Molly, Linda, and Susan to tent number 6, where they would live with 5 other girls. As they carried their gear into the roomy tent, Miss Butternut smiled and said, Here you are. This is your home sweet home for the next 2 weeks. Remember our Camp Go On Again motto, tidy and true. Keep your tent neat and clean. Then you'll be comfortable and happy at Camp Go On Again. Molly was comfortable and happy at camp right away. The counselors were nice and friendly. They made everything fun and easy. Molly, Linda, and Susan soon made friends with other girls in their tent and lots of other campers. Old campers, girls who had been to camp last summer, taught them the camp songs and cheers. Molly liked the cheer that went, Go on again, go on again, go on again and try. You can win, go on again and try. In just a few days, Molly felt like one of the old campers herself. She knew all the rules and the way everything was done at Camp Go On Again. She and Linda and Susan kept their tent and the belongings in order. Even Linda, who was messy at home, tried to keep up to the tidy part of the camp motto. She always tied her camp tie and kept her shirt tucked in just the way the counselors did. There was something for everyone at Camp Go On Again. Linda liked using the bows and arrows in archery. Susan liked campfires, sing-songs, and weenie roasts. Molly liked nature hikes when Miss Butternut taught them the names of plants and trees and birds. Every day the girls learned something new. Every day was so busy and so much fun, the time just flew by. Days at camp began early. Miss Butternut stood by the flagpole and blew a cheerful tune on her bugle. The words to the tune were, I can't get 'em up, I can't get 'em up, I can't get 'em up in the morning. But in Molly's case, the words were wrong. She couldn't wait up to get the morning in the day. There was so much to do. First, there was the morning flag-raising ceremony and breakfast in the dining hall. Then the campers played games of softball and volleyball and basketball. They had lessons in swimming, tennis, and sailing. On rainy days, they worked on their arts and crafts projects. Susan was making a leaf and bark chart. Molly was making a sit-upon. She folded a piece of oilcloth around the old newspaper and sewed the edges together. Linda was braiding strings together to make a lanyard, a cord to hang a whistle on and wear around her neck. All the counselors had lanyards. Linda noticed everything about the counselors. One of Molly's favorite times at camp was evening flag lowering ceremony. She liked it because all the girls and all the counselors stood together and sang the Camp Go On Again song. God bless, go on again. Camp that we love. Raise the flag high, never say die, while the red, white, blue flies above. Molly always got goosebumps up and down her arms when they sang the camp song. Standing shoulder to shoulder with all the other campers made her feel proud. She did love Camp Go On Again. She was glad to be there with her two best friends. One evening, after the flag was lowered and folded, Miss Butternut said, "Before we go out to dinner, I'm pleased to tell you the winner of the Camp Go On Again canoe race. First place goes to Dorinda Brassey. Let's cheer for Dorinda." All the campers cheered. Hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. Dorinda looked smug as everyone cheered. She was an old camper and she was used to winning. Miss Butternut went on her kindly way. And what do we say to the new camper who came in last? All the campers cheered. Go on again, go on again. Go on again and try. You can win, go on again and try. Miss Butternut nodded happily. That's the spirit, she said. Here at Camp Go On Again, we know that trying is important as winning. She smiled. All right, girls, I'll see you in the dining hall in 2 minutes. Go on again and try, repeated Susan as the girls walked up to the dining hall. I do try. I just cannot get my canoe straight. Susan was the camper who came in last of the canoe race. No matter what I do, my paddle won't work right, she sighed. Well, said Linda glumly, don't worry, pretty soon we'll be at home where there's no place to paddle except the bathtub. We have 3 more days here. She looked around sadly. I'm going to miss camp. Me too, said Susan. I'm going to miss absolutely everything at camp except canoeing. She looked at Molly. You probably feel exactly the way I do, Molly. You're going to miss everything here except swimming underwater, right? You hate that the way I hate canoeing. Molly didn't say anything. She was a little embarrassed. She wished Susan wouldn't compare her poor canoeing with Molly's swimming. I don't hate swimming, Molly said a little crossly. I just don't like being underwater, but you don't have to blab it all over the place. I'm not blabbing it, said Susan. Everybody in the whole camp knows you won't jump in the water or even get your head wet. We all saw you fall off the dock and almost drown that time. Yeah, Liz said, we saw the counselor save your life. Remember how they jumped in right away and pulled you out? Molly certainly did remember. She would never forget the day she slipped off the dock and fell into deep water. The dark, dense green water closed over her head. She couldn't see or breathe or move. Though she was only underwater for a few seconds, it seemed like a long time to Molly. After the counselors pulled her out, Mrs. Butternut sat next to her, holding her wet bathing cap until Molly caught her breath. Don't you worry, Miss Butternut said. You'll swim underwater when you're good and ready. The camp was almost over, and Molly was no closer to swimming underwater than ever. Look at it this way, Susan said cheerfully as they sat at their table in the dining hall. You and I will just have to come back to camp next summer so we can go on again and try. Molly and Linda chimed in, and Molly had to laugh. Just as they finished dinner, Miss Butternut stood up straight and said, Tonight, girls, I have a special announcement to make. She rose upon her toes as if the good news was trying to spell out by herself. When everyone was quiet, she went on. One of our favorite traditions here at Camp Go On Again is our game of color war. Whistles and cheers rang out through the dining hall. Miss Butternut smiled. I can see who our old campers remember how much fun the color war is. I know the new campers will love it too. Now, when we play the color war, the whole camp is divided into 2 teams, the reds and the blues. The team lists are on the doors. You may see which team you are on as you leave. Everyone quickly swung around to look at the doors, as if something exciting as the list might shoot off sparks. But the doors looked quiet as usual. Tomorrow morning, said Miss Butternut, the red team will paddle across the narrow part of the lake on Chocolate Drop Island. They'll put the flag at the top of the hill there. It will be the red team's job to guard the flag. The blue team will have its headquarters here at camp at the boathouse. They'll try to figure out the way to capture the flag from the reds. The team that has the flag gets sent down wins the game. Miss Butternut went on. When Blues try to capture the flag, they have to be very fast and very smart, or the red team will catch them and put them in prison. Prisoners can be freed only if someone from their own team tags them without being caught by the prison guard. Miss Butternut's eyes twinkled. One last thing, she said. The counselors and I will be watching you to make sure everyone is safe, but we'll be hidden so you won't see us. The counselor smiled and nodded. Any questions? Asked Miss Butternut. Dorinda Brassey raised her hand. When will we choose the leaders? She said. Both teams will meet after dinner to elect their captain, said Miss Butternut. Anyone be elected. Just look at Dorinda, whispered Linda. She's so sure she's going to be a leader. Molly looked. Linda was right. Dorinda and her friend Patty always seemed to be taking command. Molly envied them. It would be neat to be in charge. Molly pictured herself leading the team to victory. Her team would capture the flag and canoe back to camp, with everyone cheering and clapping and singing the camp song. Off you go, said Miss Butternut. Molly was practically knocked off a chair by campers charging through the team list. By the time Molly got to the door, she was too far back in the crowd to see anything. But Linda elbowed her way through the crowd to the front, then elbowed her way back to report to Molly and Susan. You two are Blues, she said. I'm a Red. Does that mean we're enemies? Asked Susan. Not until tomorrow, said Linda with a grin. I've got to go now. The red team is meeting in tent number 4 to elect a leader. I bet you my bug repellent will be Patty. See you later. She waved as the Reds swarmed out the door. Later that night, when all the campers were settling in their cots, they heard Miss Butternut play taps on her bugle. That was the signal for lights out. Molly listened to the bugle's gentle song. All the girls in the tent sang softly, Day is done, gone the sun, from the lake, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest, God is nigh. Usually Molly did just sleep off peacefully, wondering what wonderful new activity the next day would bring. But tonight she was too wound up. She turned on her flashlight, rolled over on her side, and whispered to Linda and Susan, Are you asleep? Nope, said Susan. Neither am I, said Linda. What's the matter? I've been thinking, said Molly. I'm not sure I like the idea of a color war. Me either, said Susan. How come? Asked Linda. She flopped over, sewing and propped her chin on her pillow. Well, in the first place, how do we know what to do? Asked Molly. I've never been in a color war before. Listen, said Linda. Isn't Little Miss First Place Dorinda the captain of your team? You can bet she will tell you and all the rest of the Blues exactly what to do. That's just it, said Molly. The game sounded like fun when Miss Butternut explained it at dinner. But you should have seen Dorinda at our team's meeting. As soon as she was chosen captain, she started calling us the Blue Army. She was so serious. She acted like the general of a real army. Molly's right, Susan agreed. Dorinda's awful bossy. Yeah, said Molly. What if she tells me to do something terrible, like dive in over your head and swim underwater? Linda finished for her. If Dorinda tells you to dive, tell her to go jump in the lake. Get it? It's not a joke, Linda. Dorinda's in charge now. I have to do what she says. Yes, said Susan. We're in Dorinda's army now. We have to follow her orders. Everything's different. I think they can't the way it was before, said Molly. I don't see why I have to mess everything up, go capturing flags, especially in canoes, asked Susan. Linda shook her head. It's just a game. It's supposed to be fun, not something to worry about. I mean, if we're going off to a world war or something, then I could be worried and scared. Molly nodded. My dad told us he was scared before he went away to war, he said. But he said it was okay to be scared because that meant he had a chance to be brave. Well, maybe this color war will give us a chance to be brave, said Linda. If you can do something you're scared to do, then you're brave. Easy for you to say, said Susan. You're not scared of canoeing like I am or swimming underwater like Molly is. Yeah, said Molly. You're not scared of anything. Oh, yes I am, said Linda. Like what? Asked Susan. Well, said Linda, it's really stupid, but I'm scared of creepy crawly things like spiders and bugs. Worms are the worst. Linda moved her fingers like wiggling worms and made a face so that Molly and Susan had to laugh. Slimy worms. Ugh, I hate them. Really? Said Molly. It cheered her up to know Linda was scared of something sort of silly like worms. Yes, said Linda. At least I can joke about it. You don't see me lying awake in the middle of the night worrying about it. So don't you two worry about Dorinda or canoes or swimming underwater. Don't take this color war so seriously. It won't last forever, right? Right, said Molly and Susan. Okay, said Linda. She rolled over and put her blankets over her chin. Go to sleep, and that's in order. Yes, giggled Susan. She rolled over and closed her eyes. Molly turned off her flashlight and closed her eyes, but she didn't follow the order. She didn't fall asleep for a long, long time. Linda wasn't worried about the color war, but Molly was. Maybe the color war should be her chance to be brave, but she wondered if she really wanted that chance. And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.